One minor detail. Hopefully no major details. Anyway, we're gonna roll right into this shit. Let me turn my music down just a skosh here. You guys don't get music, but I do.
Version lost.
Yeah, YouTube has lots of music. Get your own music if you need that sort of immersion. All right, so all of you stand on a large pathway. All around you, a wall of sickly yellow fog tumbles through, and all around you, you can vaguely make out a tree line on each side of you, and at the top of the pathway is a large, almost mansion-like structure. Huge towers jut out from it, and a massive set of 12-foot tall double doors appear to be made out of some sturdy wood, possibly oak, are very ornate, with a stone staircase leading up to them. You all kind of stand around looking at each other. You don't recognize any of the people next to you. You find yourself trying to recall your own names, how you got here, where you're from, but your memories are all a fog, much like the fog that is currently creeping in on all of you. With Thomas connecting in, I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
What is initiative?
If you go to the action tab on your character sheet, you'll see at the top there's a button that says surprise, init, delay, and turn. Double click that one that says init.
We certainly are.
You are certainly in it.
In it.
To win it.
Yep. You about in there, Thomas?
That's what she said.
You know what? I'm gonna roll for Thomas while he logs in. The hell is your character's name? Worm, right? No.
Bones.
Bones, okay. It's gonna be a little bit before I have a handle on who has what characters. Some of you are more obvious than others. Just gonna roll your punch here. Oh, that's not fair because you have a... Here, we'll do it. Do this. Okay. We just need a roll at Arnold, it looks like. And then everybody will have rolled. Alright. We're golden. So Bighorn, you're up first. Got yellow fog that seems to be creeping in on you. As you look at it, you see that every once in a while a strange shape silhouetted in the fog moves and then vanishes. Definitely not humanoid, and almost impossible to really grasp what it even is.
So we're just on this path, just the group of us. We're not being led by anybody.
Negative.
We are being led by people.
No, you are not being led by anybody. You're all just kind of standing around on a path with this very dense yellow fog that's creeping in on you. Just up ahead of you is a pathway leading up a hill to a large mansion-like structure.
Was there like... God, I have to be first.
Alright, Bones, you're up. As you stand there, Bighorn, contemplating what's going on. What do you want to do, Bones?
The fog's going in.
Yep.
Coming in. Okay. I guess I'll just keep moving away from the fog.
Alright. Bones slowly steps away from the fog. Worm, what are you doing?
Stealthily moving his way back through the group toward the back, away from what seems like danger.
Okay. Yeah, the fog is creeping in on all sides.
Okay, the middle of the group.
Alright, so you step back a bit. Before we get to Cutter, Cutter, you see the silhouette of some humanoid figure that seems to have tendrils growing out from the sides of it, approaching through the fog. What do you want to do?
Did you say there's stairs around here somewhere?
Yes, up the top of the path there's a set of stairs leading up to the large mansion.
I'm going that way. Fuck this fog.
Okay. Okay, so you start heading up the path. You get about halfway up the path. And all of you see these tendrils lash out from the fog. They look like soaking wet bandages covered in some sort of dark red substance, and there are green and yellow spots on them dripping from the bandages. Cutter, I need you to make a saving throw versus breath weapon as you all watch about 10 of these tendrils jut out at an impossible speed right towards Cutter.
An awkward silence.
Yeah. Cutter, did you hear me say roll for save versus breath weapon?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go and make that roll, please.
Forgot my name for a moment.
That's okay. We'll all get used to this soon enough. I'm glad I'm not the only one that remembers names. Or doesn't remember names, rather. A failure! That's unfortunate. So to all of your horror and surprise, the tendrils wrap around Cutter and squeeze him so tightly. And before any of you have even a moment to react, he's yoinked straight back into the fog at a high rate of speed. And you can all hear him screaming. Cutter, as soon as you get into the fog, it becomes nearly impossible to breathe, but you do manage one yell, and then everything goes black. Arnold, what would you like to do?
So is it like the middle of the day?
It is a sunless sky. The sky itself is a putrid red color.
Are we naked?
You have clothes on you. You are currently wearing gray and black robes of some sort, but you have no gear on you, no weapons, no backpack.
Is that what we're all wearing?
No.
Well, that was creepy.
Wasn't it? Fucking demonic baby laughs in the background. It echoes throughout the fog.
Was that someone's child?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
There you go. Oh my goodness. It's really sick.
I want to... Do I have the presence of mind to actively disbelieve this?
Sure, you could try. Make a saving throw versus spell, please.
Where the hell are those?
It's under the main tab. It should be on the right-hand side of your character sheet. There you go. Oh, that's unfortunate. To you, everything seems real, though you don't know who you are or who these people are around you. Though, oddly enough, you do feel a small sense of camaraderie with all of them. As if you should know them, but just don't. And with that, we'll move on to Locke. Or is it Loke? How do you want your name pronounced?
Locke.
Locke it is. Locke, what do you do?
I assess the situation longer and take in all my fellow compatriots
All right.
and try to figure out what's going on.
So next person then. That brings us to Tyrion.
Is there any kind of like logs on the ground or anything like that? Like tree limbs?
Sure, there's branches and stuff on the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab one that looks like it'd do some damage if I had to use it.
All right. You pick one up, and it turns into a giant earthworm in your hands and wraps itself around your forearm.
I'm gonna punch it.
All right. You start punching the worm. No pun intended. Oh, we got somebody with a long-ass name here. Malinketh. Holder of the baby.
I am the holder of the baby.
What do you want to do?
Malinketh will say out loud the dreams.
All right, hold
that
on one
come
second.
true.
Hold on. So, Malinketh, you open your mouth, and it just feels like it's full of sand. And all of you look over at Malinketh as you see this, you hear this voice starting to come out of him, and you can see his teeth are starting to turn to a raisin-like color immediately, and they start falling out of his mouth. And then his tongue just dribbles out of his mouth and falls on the ground and immediately starts to rot away.
Tight.
And with
So
that-
instead, I'll just drop to the ground screaming.
Okay, you try to scream, and just this black bile begins to fall out from your mouth. And with that, the mist parts. And now, mere steps in front of all you, a mask of gray rags emerges, dragging behind it the once full of life body of Cutter, which is still wrapped up in some of these bandages, and they're strangling him. You see blood is pouring out of every orifice. The strips of these fabric-like materials are something almost alive. They worm and constrict across the body of this almost human-like creature. The creature itself is far too lean, though, and way too flexible. As it walks out, its torso bends backwards, and then his head comes out underneath his legs, up between his crotch. You see that the gauzy gray ribbons reach out like tendrils, each of them grasping towards less doubtless flesh to claim. I need everybody to roll initiative again.
Okay, this is crazy. Where are we?
Where indeed?
Nowhere good.
Alright, just need an initiative roll out of you there, Malinketh.
Sorry, just handing the baby off 1 sec.
That's okay, or Malinketh, I'm sorry. Your name is truncated on your portrait there. Alright. And so for those of you that are new to D&D, or to 2nd edition rather, in this edition you roll for initiative every single round. And the initiative that you roll for is the action that you must take. Different actions have different initiatives. The lower your initiative, the better. So if you see like a +5 on an initiative, that means it's going to add that much to your initiative roll, causing you to go slower. Typically, smaller weapons like daggers have a faster initiative than weapons like greatswords. So just keep that in mind when you're planning out each phase. Alright, that being said, we are going to start off with Worm. Before you go, Worm, you look over and you see Cutter, who's being strangled by these bandages. He opens his mouth and lets out one gasp of a word that just says, "Me!" And then the constriction happens ever so violently and just rips him in half.
Puke.
And now it's your turn.
Alright, well, after he finishes puking, he's looking around at the rest of the group, finding somebody big, probably Bighorn, and putting him between him and what's going on with Cutter.
Okay. Alright, and with that, it is the creature's turn. It swiftly moves across the battlefield. It's in 1 minute there, and then it just twitches. And next thing you all know, it's right in front of Malenketh. And it just reaches out to try to grab him by his throat. Malenketh, what's your dexterity?
You want my score?
Yeah, because your armor class would be 10 unless you have an armor class bonus.
Dex is 14.
Okay, so no armor class bonus. He's going to hit you, and you are going to take some damage. Not too bad. 11 points of damage. Can you survive that? No, doesn't look like that's the case. You're not dead? Maybe? Alright. So it just reaches out and digs these gnarly looking fingernails right into the jugular of Malenketh and lifts him up. You can see the blood just pouring down his chest. Malenketh, as it was coming up to your turn, everything goes dark for you. Somehow, without a tongue though, you are able to utter the word up, and then it just flings Malenketh to the side, but still continues to hold the throat. The body goes flying, but the rest of the throat muscles and all the good stuff inside are still in the creature's hand, and you all watch as his body hits the ground and rolls, and blood just pouring out of this gaping hole where his neck used to be. With that, we'll go to Locke.
So I would probably, if I'm in a good position, would try to punch the demon in the face.
Locke charges forward, throwing a wild punch. Alright, Locke, so go to your action tab, and you should see a big red box near the punch. That's your attack roll. Just double click that red box. And you hit an armor class of 18. That is not good. In second edition, the lower your armor class, the better. And 18 is not going to be enough. You swing wildly, and your fist just smushes into these wet rags, and immediately they wrap themselves around your forearm, pulling you closer. The smell of death and decay on this creature's breath. With that, we'll go to Bighorn.
Well, now that there's a target, Bighorn will go berserk and freaking horn attack this thing.
Alright, so just so you're clear, did you read how berserk works?
Yeah,
So-
kinda.
so it
Not since like when we.
Sure thing. So berserk takes 10 rounds to activate. In that time, though,
Oh,
you
shit,
can
okay.
do other actions. It just takes 10 rounds for the bonuses to actually kick in.
Oh damn! Really?
Yeah, so basically you're psyching yourself up, like pounding your chest, foaming at the mouth, your muscles are getting bigger. It's not an instantaneous thing. But you can still
Gotcha.
perform other actions while that is going on.
Hmm.
So you start, like, stomping your fist. Do you want to do anything else while you're going into berserk mode?
Yeah, no, we're tackling this fucker to try and get him from hurting the smaller, weaker little peoples.
Are you trying to bull rush him? No pun intended.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna freaking horn attack him.
Alright, so on your actions tab, you should see a red box next to your horn attack. Just go ahead and double click that. We'll see if you hit. A 16 will hit an armor class of 2. I'm gonna have to check. That might be enough. Let's see. That is enough. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Just double click that.
Yep, just double click the little numbers. For a solid 9 points of damage as you charge by and take a good piece of flesh and actually sever one of the bandage tendrils off of the creature. It doesn't even wince. Doesn't seem like it cares. but you think you've dealt some good damage. Bones, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna start moving closer to them steps.
All right, Bones, you start moving. Are you moving with a sense of urgency, or are you moving slowly?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna move hastily up to them steps.
All right. Bones breaks out, running for the steps, which brings us to Tyrion.
I'm running for the steps.
Tyrion's running for the steps. Arnold.
I'm just gonna wait and see what happens.
All right. Arnold is gauging the situation. Cutter is not in the best of ways. Cutter, who do you serve? Who is your god?
Kasuth.
Kasuth. Cutter, you find yourself in a world of fire. It's warm and inviting. And with that, I need everybody to roll initiative. You guys are fast, I like it. Except this Bones guy, roll Bones.
Roll them bones.
Roll them Bones. Bones step away. Well, there we go. It's got so many options, all 2 of them.
Yep. Yep.
Alright. Worm. Rolling
well,
like gangbusters over here. Alright, you're up
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. Well, since some of these people are attacking this thing and some are breaking the door, I think I'm going to follow the people running up the stairs toward the building.
Some are dying also.
Well, yes. They're dead or dying. Making a break for it.
Alright, up to the stairs.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before Tyrion goes, the Tatterman gets to go.
The who?
The man in tatters.
The what?
The
Slender Man,
Tatterman.
what?
Alright, so we've got... He is going to do something, I think, probably to Locke and or Bighorn. So I'll tell you what. I am going to roll a d2. If it's a 1, it's going to be Bighorn. If it's a 2, it's going to be you, Locke. It's going to be Locke. So Locke, he already has you in his grasp. And you can feel these bandaged tendrils working their way up your legs. It might almost be sensual if it wasn't this grotesque humanoid. And we'll, he's gonna get a fat bonus to hit you here. Oh yeah. They just continue to work their way up into some orifices that you would rather they not go into. And I need you to make a saving throw versus death, please.
What is that?
So if you look on your main tab of your character sheet on the right-hand side, you'll see there's a bunch of boxes and one of them says death. Double-click that box for me. There you go. A 7 is not enough. About 3 of these things go up your third point of contact, straightening out your intestines, as it were, and emerging from your mouth. You all watching horror, well, maybe not horror, I don't know. Maybe you enjoy watching this sort of thing. They just pull themselves out of his mouth and tear him completely in half. His entrails laying on the ground, steaming, and his body just kind of limps to the side as the rest of his inside parts are now outside. And that will bring us to Bones running up to the mansion. Bones, you make it all the way to the mansion door. You immediately reach up to these 2 large rings And do what? Do you try to open them?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to open the door.
Alright, you grab onto them. They're massive, probably the size of a Volkswagen hubcap. Try to pull on them. The door is stuck. And as you pull, you see that blood is dripping down the doors themselves. And you see that as they're dripping down, they seem to be spelling out some words in various parts of the door. You see the words, me, up, and save.
I want to look up.
Alright, so you're looking up. Bighorn, what do you want to do?
Is the rest of the party already up on the stairs that hasn't been bisected, dethroated, or crushed to death?
No, Arnold is standing there, rubbing his chin, taking in the situation.
Okay, then Bighorn reading the room, so to speak, is going to pick up Arnold and just get up to the door and put Arnold behind him and stand in front of the little ones and the big nasty tentacle bandage monster.
Alright, so you make your move towards Arnold. Arnold, do you want to allow this massive cow man to pick you up?
Not
How
sure
big
if
is he?
one.
How tall are you? Like 7-8 feet tall, I think?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn big.
Let me take a look here.
What'd I put down?
8'2".
Yeah, 8'2", and almost 600 pounds.
That's a big boy.
Yeah,
That's a lot of meat.
that's a lot of bull.
Hey, I bring the beef, baby.
He bring the beef.
I'm just gonna continue trying to disbelieve the situation.
Okay, go ahead and make another saving throw versus spell. You just gonna let him pick you up other than that?
Yeah, I think this is a dream, so I don't care what happens.
Do you think that?
Yep.
Alright. Well, I'll be damned. Alright. This bull comes at you, and, like, this has to be a dream. And, Bighorn, as you're running at Arnold, you go to pick him up, and your arms pass right through him. What do you do? You watch as he slowly starts to fade away. Alright, so you stand there just flabbergasted for a moment, and you
Well,
look...
no, yeah, okay.
no. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
look
okay.
you look down where his body used to be is completely gone, and where he was actually standing, there's a small pile of rocks on the ground to form the word wake. I need everybody to roll initiative. All right. And Bones, slow on the uptake. Rolls.
Yeah, it's running a little slow.
All right. So, he gets to go first. All right. The man in tatters, if you will, begins walking forward once again. As he approaches Bighorn, all of you can see that are nearest to the door the words, in no particular order: me, up, save, and wake. And we will start with Bones. What do you want to do?
Oh. Can I try to disbelieve this?
You can. Is there something specific you want to do to disbelieve it, or just make a, random ass check to disbelieve?
I'm actually I just put the words together. It sounds like it says wake up, save me. So maybe now I believe.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
All right. All of you hear Bones just yell out, "Wake up, save me." And all of the fog starts to dissipate. And ringing throughout all of your ears are the words, "Wake up, save me. Wake up, save me. Wake up, save me." And you hear, "You fools! Wake up! Save me!"
Oh shit.
You all start to wake up, finding yourselves in some cramped cells.
Extra cramped for me, I take it.
It's very cramped for all of you. Several of you smashed into one small cell. You wake up and you see just beyond the bars of you is a man on a table. The rest of the room is pretty dark, with the exception of one lamp kind of hanging nearby the table, cascading a orange glow throughout the room. The bars separate you from the stranger, a struggling human with split lips and skin covered in a mapwork of fresh red lines. Heavy ropes lash the man to a splintery work table. Another figure, unsettlingly thin and wearing a blood-smeared doctor's coat, circles the table casually. The figure stops every so often, scrutinizes one of the man's wounds, walks over to a small table next to the larger table where the man is bound, and picks up a busted set of pruning shears and begins to spin them in one hand. The figure then just plunges the pruning shears right into the man's thigh and drags them up, leaving a nice gash as he screams and wails in pain. What do you guys want to do? I'm going to put you all on a map here, actually, so you can see what's going on. I'm going to put Bighorn over here, probably in his own... Oh, we got somebody dead. Let me fix that. None of you are dead, in case that was not obvious.
So what do we know?
You know at the moment that you're in a prison cell, staring at this man that is being tortured just outside the bars in a larger room.
And I take it these bars look pretty sturdy.
Yeah, they look like prison bars. No particular order. Who's the... Man, there's like no... I'm going to put the Swan May in with the Minotaur there.
Oh, man.
How do we open up the map again?
I'm going to open it for you in a second. I'm just
Okay.
cramming everybody in their gel cells here.
I've never been a player on this side of Fantasy Grounds, so...
Okay, you'll see your map in right probably now-ish.
I bet it feels amazing.
Oh, it feels nice.
Alright. So momentarily you should all be able to kind of see. The vision's probably
Nice.
a little bit limited. I'll go ahead and put a token here of the creature, so you kind of, or the doctor, as it were. Oh yeah, you guys are not able to really move around.
Is it just due to the size of the cell that we're in, or...?
I mean, you can move around in the cell, but you can't, like, leave it.
Okay.
I'm pacing.
Yeah. Don't worry about moving your tokens, it's just so you can see what's going on. You can see the man laying on the table. He's looking pretty bad off as this doctor. You can see is probably female. It's kind of hard to tell, but just the figure seems to suggest as such to some degree. On the table, you notice that in place of any kind of real surgical materials, there's a gardening trowel. There's several forks of varying sizes. There's what you see is probably the other half of the pruning shears that are not currently in the doctor's hand. And then there's several shards of what are probably either glass or pieces of metal just kind of littering the table. The doctor just walks away from the man after cutting a deep gash in his thigh, sets the half of pruning shears down that she had, and just starts rubbing her chin, kind of going over the various accoutrements on the table.
What are we wearing? Is there anything in the cell other than us?
Yeah, so there's a couple pots, one of which is full of some sort of filth. Other than that, there's not much. There's a few bits of straw, not enough to really lay on and be comfortable. The cells themselves are rather barren. You do all have clothes on. It looks like, if you had to guess, you have some sort of patient's clothing, it almost looks like. But they're very dingy. They've been sticking to your crotches and behind your knees and all the unfavorable spots. They're damp. It's cold. And you smell awful. You can smell your own stink. Or maybe it's the person next to you. It's hard to say.
How long have we been here?
You have no idea.
What do we remember of ourselves?
You remember a dream where a man in some sort of bandages was trying to kill you. Other than that, everything's a haze. You don't remember your names. You don't know where you are. You don't know how you got here.
Okay, so no proficiencies?
You have proficiencies. Like, any skills that you have are still at your disposal. But you don't currently know where you are. You don't have access to any of your spells.
Oh, even psychic abilities?
Yeah, your brain is too foggy right now to use any psychic abilities.
I'm just gonna watch then.
Alright, yeah, you try to, like, something in the back of your mind feels as though, especially for you, Bones, there's this, like, tingle back there, as if you should be able to reach out with your mind itself, but it's just not there. It's like every time you try, there's just this splitting headache. Alright, so the doctor picks up another set of shears, looks at the man, contemplating for a moment, but then sets it back down, and instead grabs a fork and starts walking over to the head part of where he's at on the table, pushes his forehead back and starts moving one of the forks really close to his eyeball. You can see him trying to squirm, but as he does so, she just pushes his forehead back into the planks even harder.
Okay, we need to kill that thing somehow.
Yeah. Adam, you don't seem qualified to be performing these surgeries.
Do you say that?
Yes.
Who's that?
Worm.
Yeah, across the way, you see some man talking to her. You feel like you recognize him, but you don't know who he is.
Actually, can't see anybody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I can only see, like, I don't even see the table on my screen.
Okay.
She comes for us.
Oh.
We gotta just take her out.
Yeah, for you can't really see the table where you are. I'll move some of you a little closer. Let's see who can see what.
Yeah. Well, that works perfectly for my character. Bighorn's going to look at the bars and the door and assess whether this is for a little people jail or a monster jail.
It is not a monster jail for sure. In fact, with you standing up, Bighorn, you have to, like, kind of crane your neck just a skosh because your horns are scraping against the top.
Nice. I'm gonna try something stupid.
What do you want to try?
Bighorn's gonna get a good grip on all the on the door and try and rip it open.
All right, go ahead and roll an open doors check. On the main tab of your character sheet on strength, you should see a box that says open door.
Open door or just doors?
I think it just says doors, probably.
Opens doors, open magically bar. Open magically barred. Okay.
Yeah, just click the one that says double click doors. Oh shit. That's pretty good, actually. All right. You all watch as Bighorn here. He just pushes Bones out of the way and steps over here and starts yanking on this door. Bighorn, as you start pulling it, you can hear the hinges starting to give way. And immediately, the woman... Can you see her now, by the way?
I did until you moved me. I think you had me in front of the doorway.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm going to open the door just so you can see out.
Okay, yeah. She
All right.
was, like, right in front of me a little while ago.
The bars I have set to windows and the doors are doors. So you can't see through doors, but you can see through windows. But anyway.
Gotcha.
So the doctor immediately steps forward as you feel like you're about to be able to get this door off its hinges, surprisingly. And she steps forward and says, "You! Quiet down! You will have your turn." And she just kind of threatens you with the fork. And you see for a moment her face shifts. And it takes on a face not unlike your own, but then goes back to its original form. The rest of you see the man. He actually is able to get one of his legs free from the bindings. And with an excruciating amount of effort, as this is the leg that has this big ass cut in it from the pruning shears, he just kicks her right in the small of her back, and she goes careening into the door right in front of you, Bighorn.
Oh, I'm gonna reach through if I can and just crush her against the door.
Alright, so you reach through and grab hold of her, and she immediately grabs onto the bars and tries to start pushing herself away. Bones, you notice, as these two struggle, a ring of keys is dangling from her hip.
Can I go to grab it?
You certainly can try.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Okay, just go ahead and make an attack roll. So just roll your base Thaco. Should be on the main tab of your character sheet. That is good enough. You easily just reach through the bars and yoink the keys right off of her. And Bighorn, I need you to make a strength check, actually. I'm going to do a opposed strength roll here.
Just a straight up stat, none of the special ones?
Nope, just double click your strength. Oh, we are stalemated. So go ahead and roll again. Ooh. That's a good ass roll. Well, mine didn't roll. Alright. So she tries to push away, but you have a really good grip on her. You can see out of the corner of your eye that Bones is holding a set of keys. The rest of you can see all of this going down, by the way.
I'm just going to continue to like bear hug her and press her up against the bars, trying to snap them and her at the same time.
Alright. Bones, what do you want to do during all of this?
I'm gonna try to get the gate open.
Well, that's kind of hard. You got a you got a Minotaur on one side holding this doctor on the other. He looks like he's trying to crush her into the door.
I'll just I'll dangle the keys near his ear and then I'll wait for him to get done.
Suffocate her first.
Alright, yeah. You hear some keys jingling in your ear, Bighorn. Why don't we do this? I'm going to end this round real quick so that we can get a new roll out of Bighorn, and Bones. Alright. We'll do a bunch of rolls here, actually. So, Bighorn and Bones, why don't the two of you roll initiative? I will also roll my initiative. Alright. Alright, so she is up first. This time she does not try to push away. She just reaches through the bars and digs her fingernails right into the side of your rib cage, Bighorn. See if she can puncture your manly or bovinely abdomen. She is not able to, though you can feel her fingernails are sharper than they probably should be. And with that, Bones, you still just kind of jingling the keys?
I mean, whenever I can get. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take the keys and kind of put it between my knuckles, and I'm gonna go to punch the woman in the face.
With the keys?
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and make an attack roll against her.
That's some gangster shit.
Yeah, it is.
Beat her down.
I have a horrible attack. We'll see. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get her.
Alright, well, she is restrained. But you hit a 13. That's not going to be good enough. You are not proficient with key punch.
Nope.
Alright, Bighorn. Still trying to just squeeze her?
Yeah, because that's the best thing I could think of. I would want to skewer her on my horn, but I don't think I can get that through. That's going to be a little tricky with how tight things are, so I'm just going to bear hug her to death.
Alright, that can take a minute. So, alright, so what we first got to do is we got to do another opposed strength roll to see if you maintain your grip. If you do, then we'll start doing some checks and see if she passes out. An 18. Ooh. Alright. So as you're squeezing, this woman facade that's on her just drops away. And it becomes this strange, alien-looking creature, very white in skin and weird and lanky. And the act of doing so makes your hold have to kind of squeeze in even more because she's no longer as broad as she was, and she just slips down and out of your grasp and takes a step away. And you also notice that she has this long ass tongue sticking out.
What that tongue do, though?
What that tongue do, though?
With that happening, if I can, I'm going to sidestep now that she's... Or no, I guess, yeah, round 2, never mind.
Sure thing. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative now. Actually, you know what? Not everybody, because you guys are all still in cells at the moment. Just Bighorn and Bones for the moment. The man on the table is still squirming. He looks like he's pretty weak. Alright, so we're going to go with Bighorn with a 2. So you step aside. It's over here. Anything else you want to do?
I keep on forgetting to push the talk.
It's okay.
If there's any way I can reach through and just keep her distracted so that Bones can open the door without being assailed.
Sure. So you'd start reaching your arms out. She looks like she's backing away. And it is now Bones' turn. What are you doing? She seems to be looking at all of you, or the two of you rather, but she's backing away from the cell.
I'm gonna go to the door and try to finagle the lock open.
Okay. She looks down at the keys, realizing what has happened, and then like checks her hip, and then looks up at you and hisses.
She says what?
She just hisses.
Oh.
as you try to finagle the lock. So one more initiative roll out of you and Bighorn and the creature. Alright. Bones, give me a dexterity check. We'll see how quick you can get the lock undone.
Sorry, what was that?
Give me a dexterity check.
Sorry, alright.
It's okay. 17 is a failure by 1. So you're fumbling to get the key into the hole. And that brings us to Bighorn. You're reaching through trying to keep her at bay.
Yeah, so basically trying to run as best of a buffer I can if she tries to stop Bones from opening the door.
Okay.
I figure my arms are big enough that I can, like, reach through and have at least something in the way flailing.
Yeah, she's not about that action. She moves completely away. And then kind of looks back at you and picks up a set of or actually both of the sets of the pruning shears, one in each hand, and just drives them straight into each side of the neck of the man on the table, and then just drags them across his throat, and then back down, and blood just pours out as he doesn't even let out a gasp. She immediately drops the pruning shears, and let the two of you roll another initiative. Alright. Bones is not up first, actually. Bighorn, anything else you want to do? Or you're just waiting for Bones to get the door open?
Waiting for that door to open.
Alright, so that'll bring us to Bones. Bones, go ahead and make another dexterity check. Much better. This time you managed to find it a little less nervous now that she's further away from the door. And you turn the key, it easily unlocks, freeing you from your cell. And that brings us to her turn. She immediately just springs over the table here and runs to this door on the far side. Yeah, some of you see her for the first time. She darts by into a hallway. Hear a door open. Alright. Another initiative. Well, actually, yeah, I need initiative out of you, Bighorn, and Bones, in case you want to do anything crazy. Okay. Bighorn, you're up first.
Can I charge after her to grab her, or is she, like, too far gone?
You won't be able to charge, but you can certainly move out of your cell if you want to.
Okay, yeah, I'll head out of the cell and head in her direction as far as I can.
Alright, go ahead and path out your movement there.
$30 just like the other editions, yeah?
Yeah, we're doing 30 feet.
Okay.
Well, so if you look on your character sheets, down where it says special move, I've converted your actual movement. So if it says 60 feet, you can move up to 60 feet but take no other action. Some actions you can do at half your movement.
Oh, gotcha.
And there's no 5-foot step or any of that stuff, so.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to, Yeah, I wanted to chase her down and tackle her if she was still within my range.
Yeah, you gotta kind of come around through Bones and out a door. Quite a few obstacles to kind of negotiate. But you come over here, and coming up to her, that'll be 35 feet. So you get just up to her, and you see that she has opened a door. And let's see here. That's gonna bring us to Bones' turn. What do you want to do, Bones?
I'm gonna run to open up this door.
Okay. All right, Bones. So you move across over here, actually. Go ahead and give me another dexterity. You don't need a dexterity check. It's fine.
Well,
Yeah. you can clearly see the lock. You're not trying to reach through and fumble some keys. All right, so you put the key in and turn it and unlock this door. I'm gonna open all the doors just so you all can see better. As you look over, you can see the doctor, whatever this creature is, getting ready to make a break for it. And she is going to do so. As you're catching up to her, Bighorn, she just sprints through the room here and clambers over a bunch of bodies. One of the things is you had moved into the area, the smell of rot and decay hits you full on in your nose. And there is just a cloud of flies in this room. And she just climbs over all of them and starts moving her way up some sort of chute that the bodies are laying under. And she moves with a grace and speed that is definitely inhuman. And with that, it is a new round. What I will ask, Bighorn, are you going to try to chase her up that chute?
I very much doubt he'd be able to go up a chute.
It looks like you could probably get up it. It is going to be a tight fit, though. You don't think you could fit up there at the speed that she was moving. It would be slow going for you.
Yeah, there's really no way I can freaking follow her. The only hope I had was to grab her before she got too far away.
Okay.
And I don't think that's a possibility. Unless that chute, I can, like, rip it off the wall and toss her out of it.
Alright. And Bones, I assume you were going to open up the other door as well?
Yes, that's correct.
Alright. So Bones, you make your way over there. No more initiative is necessary. So you come over and open the last of the doors. I have unlocked the tokens. You are all free to move about the cabin. Alright, so just some notes on the rest of the room here. As you come in, there's a huge pile of rubble and trash on the west side of this small prison-like room. There are several bags and other baskets and such. On the north end of the room in this corridor, there's a large cabinet of sorts. It looks pretty rickety. It's got busted handles. The doors are quite rotted. The southern area here, you see a cold iron furnace that is hunkered in the corner of this basement. Its 4 feet square door is gaping half open. Nearby sprawls a heap of gory clothes and other dubious flammable trash.
The furnace has a 4-foot door.
Yep.
I know what this is for. I'll give this poor bastard the right of passing.
Alright. Yeah, oddly enough, you still remember the rites, and you still remember Celeborn. That's about all you remember. You still remember various things about your past as you start to think on it, all of you. Start to kind of think about some of the things you know as far as your skills are concerned. Those still seem to be available to you, but the last maybe a few years they're not there, and your names just don't seem to be available to you.
I must ask anybody if they know what the heck, where we are, what happened.
I was just about to ask the same. I have no idea. I do remember you all from the dream. Who are you all?
Don't know.
Interesting. I don't seem to recall my name either.
I only recall war.
I just know that furnace makes me very comfortable.
Where's this furnace again?
It's down this way.
And
Oh,
where
am I
did you say
looking
that
at the
room
wrong
was with the
thing?
bags?
So the bags and such are over here in the corner, the northwest corner.
I'll sift through the bags as I'm kind of talking to the rest of the group.
Yeah, the room's probably dark for some of you if you don't have a light source.
It is interesting that we had been part of in the same dream together. Dreams
That's
are very important things, and they can tell many truths.
Do you think it was the doctor setting us up?
I'm unsure what it was, but who was the one that was asking us to save him? Was it that guy on the table?
I doubt it. It seemed as if that voice in that dream came from the great beyond. I've had similar dreams in the past, but none of which involve any of you that I recognize, or I don't recognize.
It also sounded like the voice of a man dying.
I'm gonna take this little lantern
Okay.
over to the stuff.
All right. You pull the lantern down here. I think I can even give you a lantern. Give me a second here. Remember how to do that.
And check this box, whatever it is.
The hell is this? Get shit out of here.
Yeah, I'll empty the contents of that bag, or the bags out too.
Yeah.
See if there's anything that I recognize, or anybody else might recognize.
Yeah, the bags themselves just have like a bunch of mundane shit. You find other clothes, some shoes, all of which are better quality than the crap you're wearing. It's dry. Probably take
Can I-
some- Go ahead.
I'll change immediately.
Okay.
Can I start
No shame.
sifting through the dead bodies?
Yeah. And start digging through them dead bodies over there.
Yeah, I'm looking for some good.
All right. Go ahead and move yourself over to all the dead bodies. I put a lantern on you there, Arnold. Should hopefully be able to see better now.
Is there anything in this rickety box?
Just this cupboard, this old rickety cupboard that you guys are digging through. Inside the cupboard, there's several shelves, and it's just a mess of crap that has been stacked in here. The bottom shelves have been removed to accommodate some larger weapons, of which you find 3 bastard swords. There are also, on the top shelf, there are 3 stale pieces of bread. There's a pile of armor on the ground as well. It looks like there's a suit of chainmail. There's some splint mail, some leather armor, a few suits of those.
Let the infighting begin.
Yeah. Up against the back wall behind the cabinet, you see this massive hammer. The hammer itself looks like it weighs probably in the neighborhood of 30 to 40 pounds, just the head of it. And it's got this huge 6-foot haft. And I will go ahead. I'm not going to explain all the shit that's in here, but I will drop all the goodies in the party sheet. You guys can rifle through
We
them.
know who the hammer's for.
Yeah. So if you go to menu and you go down to where it says party sheet, you should see an inventory tab. And in there are all the goodies. To claim any of the items, what you need to do is open your character sheet and go to your inventory tab and just drag the items from the party sheet onto where it says drag and drop inventory records here on your party sheet.
And this was all found in that little room that I was just in?
Yes. It's all in where this cabinet thing is next to Arnold and Tyrion.
Okay. Would I have taken notice of them going through that stuff? I will wait until they mention that they found these items.
Sure.
Before
You can clearly hear people rummaging through stuff.
Anything good in there?
Yeah, we found a bunch of equipment.
Found me a bow.
Oh, you
Go
guys are
ahead
just
and,
going through it. Alright, I'm just gonna grab shit too.
Yeah,
then.
just grab shit. Yeah, they're every survivor for themselves.
Real quick, I don't think I'd have anything else other than the backpack and the two-handed maul for my character.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I don't think any of the... Unless there's something in here that's supposed to fit me that I don't know
Yeah, none
about.
of the armor will fit you.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, armor is by size. You'll need... In fact, because of your physique and humanoid nature, you need specially made armor unless you happen upon Minotaur armor.
Right.
Helmets will be incredibly difficult for you to find.
Not really like I need a helmet. I'm a freaking Minotaur, man.
How do I put something back?
So you can just drag it back to the party sheet. It should drop it back on there.
Hey, Tyrion, if I saw you take the longbow, make sure you take that quiver too. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, the quiver has 20 arrows in it. I don't know if I put the arrows. Did I not put arrows?
No.
Okay.
It's only one. So 20.
Yeah, just go ahead and right click on your character sheet and add the 20 arrows. They are sheaf arrows.
Anybody a bulwark? Anybody like wearing heavy armor?
Who's the elf? I'm gonna look around for him.
I am.
It looks like there's 2 elves, actually.
That's what do we all look like actually?
Yeah, let's just go around the table here, if you will, and we'll describe what each one looks like. I'm gonna start with you, Tyrion. What's your character look like?
He's about 6'1", pretty slender, only about 120 pounds, 127. And he's got like kind of dirty blonde hair.
And what race is he?
Elf.
All right. What about
I
you?
wouldn't.
What about you, Bighorn? What do you look like?
Bighorn pretty much looks like my avatar. He's got one of his horns is shearing off, but the other one's just massive. Think like a Texas Longhorn or something. Almost black, but a little bit lighter coat on him, and then around his face though he has white, as if it's all come in white, like it's a clean skull or something. But just the fur's white and everything. And yeah, he stands 8'2". Where are my notes? Yeah, 8'2". You know, almost 600 pounds. Just big, beefy. He goes up to the hammer and just picks it up. Feels familiar with it. Sets it down and it's just kind of watching. And yeah, that's Bighorn.
All
Nothing
right.
too fancy or special. Just muscles everywhere, though.
All right.
Them is going to be useful.
Obviously, Cowman. All right, Cutter. What do you look like?
He's not super tall. He's a human, 5 foot, 5'6" or 7-ish. Looks like he's probably in his 30s, I guess. Got a mostly shaven head with like a ponytail, kind of like a top knot.
It's a man bun. You can say it.
Yeah, man bun. And outside of that, I guess he's got like grayish eyes, and he's got looks like not a very pretty one, but it's like a self-inflicted tattoo on his arm. Looks. And that's about it. Picks up the scimitar and just just starts. Well, I don't know what, but this feels pretty good.
It does feel good. Feels like it belongs in your hand. Malinketh.
Let's see. Malincath stands at about 5'8", 165 pounds. If you were to think of a physical embodiment of him in our world, you could look at Forrest Griffin, light heavyweight champion previously in the UFC. That's kind of his he looks like physically.
Okay.
But he's got the face of Tom Hiddleston, but a little more fucked up. He's got medium length wavy black hair. He's got blotchy olive skin. His face is heavily scarred and burned. Despite those features, his eyes seem to glow a bright green, with his left eye, however, stained permanently with blood. The tips of his ears, you would assume he was elf or has elf heritage, have been cut off to be rounded, so that is scarred as well. He's got an upturned lip or a snarl, maybe even resting bitch face. He walks around with a lithe confidence. His forearms are marked with tattoos that represent being held as a criminal in varying settlements. Depending on one's knowledge of obtuse criminal justice systems, you might recognize them as murderer, thief, or arsonist, all of which are marked to the highest degree. In large print across his left forearm is maybe his name in Elven, Common, and Dwarven, and that would read Malinketh.
All right. Locke.
Locke stands 6'2", rigid, muscular, defined. 3 massive scars rake from the back of his head to his face. He is very proper, very put together. Even though he's in his shabby, clothes he's in, he has an air of justice to him and composure. He's very aware of his surroundings and just very put together. Nothing really phases him.
Okay. Arnold.
Arnold's a middle-aged human with long gray hair and a gray beard. He's just over 6 feet, somewhere around 200 pounds. And he's often just kind of staring with a 1,000-yard stare.
All right. And then Bones.
Yeah, Bones is a slender white female, blonde hair. Kind of your I guess she has a certain glow to her. My first time playing a female character, so I gotta describe it as best I can. I kind of elf-like, like an elf and a human-like, but without the ears. Kind of walks around like she's like intuitive, looking at everything, touching everything, and like trying to like read it in a way.
Okay. And Worm. Oh, sorry, you got more? Sorry.
No, that's about it right now.
Okay, Worm.
All right. Well, he's human. He's about 5'5", about all of 135 pounds. Doesn't look like he gets out in the sun much. Gray hair. He's approaching 40. Kind of sickly, frail looking. Looks like he probably spends a lot of time indoors and just kind of taking in the whole scene with all these giant characters around and kind of staying out of the way.
A gamer.
The gamer of the group. Yeah. It's his fucking gamer tag is Worm.
Got his Red Bull in his pocket.
Yeah. All right. Well, great. How about this? So we've been going pretty hard. It's 7:30 almost my time. Let's take let's do a 15-minute break. We'll come back and I think you guys have ransacked most of the items here. There is still that holy symbol in the inventory sheet there, Cutter, that you would probably recognize.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, be back in 15, and then we'll get started again.
Roger,
I'm gonna
Roger.
get this furnace blazing.
Yeah, it's
Go ahead,
off.
it's off.
It's off at the moment, in case you were curious.
How do you do ammo, Frankie?
How do I do what?
Ammo for the quiver?
Oh, you can just in your inventory right click anywhere in there and just type in arrows, sheaf, and then put quantity of 20. For the bow itself, if you go to the action tab, actually I'll help you out because I don't think longbows start with the sheaf arrow set up, so I'll just set that up for you real quick. Just clone the bow.
Got my elf bonus for my longbow. Do I get it for proficiency also?
Yes, so you'll want to click on the gear, and where it says bonus for your bow, put a 1 in there.
Yeah, I got one already for being an elf.
Yeah, but under the actions tab where the weapons are, you want to put the bonus in there, so it actually has it. And make sure you do it for both the sheaf arrow and the regular longbow arrow. Put this. Go. Perfect. Alright, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick and see you guys in 15.